everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. We're going to be making some mini specimens and some teeny tiny specimens. So let me bring these up and show you. Hopefully my light isn't too bright there that you can tell those are stamped with tiny stamps and silhouettes, a lot of silhouettes. So you will need your tiny stamps, some ink, a text stamp, some scraps, some punches, or a little die. And I used my smallest square from my square die cuts, and I'm going to give you the measurements for that. For the most part, what I used was, I have a little scrap container here full of little bits of cardstock, like so. And that is mostly what I used. Most of them were strips like this. And I have a few square ones started here because I can't bring my Sizzix over here for demonstrations most of the time, because it makes my table shake and then it makes the camera shake. So I have some square ones already cut out and ready to go, and we will do some circle ones. So I have a 1-inch circle punch and a 5/8 inch circle punch for the tiny ones, and I just, for this my square die cut is about 1 1/8. So of course you'll be wanting to keep a border. So whatever your square die cut is, keep a border and then just double it for the length and fold it in half. So I pretty much did the same for the, so these were 1 1/2 by 3, and the tiny ones are 1 by 2. So those are the measurements for my particular punches and die cut. But you would just do the same for your circle. Make sure you have enough for a border, and then just double the length. Okay, and I want to show you, I just took my cutout piece and put it on the back. Now you could mix and match those colors on the back if you wanted to, that would be cute, but I didn't. But I just thought, what am I going to do with that? So might as well just pop it on the back there. So that's what I did. So they're really cute. You can decorate them more if you want. I also have some here that I got out some little scrapbook paper sheets and scraps, and did a few of those. You can put whatever you want in the center. For these particular ones, I have a dictionary page here somewhere with small text, and for stamping my images I just have some scrap coffee dye paper. So we are at the stamping stage. So let me just get my container here and put these in. So there's another little scrap I can use. So for these ones, I just took my die, took a pencil, made some little corner marks. So I know where to stamp and cut. So that it fits in my specimen. I didn't bother with a acetate cover or anything like that, or it, you know, I just left them blank like paper. If you did want to go through all that, you could, or you could glaze them, but I didn't. You could also put whatever you want in the center. You can put little tiny die cuts. Put little flowers, dried flowers. It would be very pretty. I don't have any that's small right now. But now that it's spring, you might want to go out and pick some of those little tiny flowers that might be blooming in your area. So I just thought this was, I'm always looking for projects to use these tiny stamps with. If I didn't mention, you need those. And this ladybug, I tried it several times, but it never looked right, so I didn't use it. But I'm always looking for ways to use these tiny stamps. There's an apple. I mean, they're tight in here. There's a little watering can. Sorry if I lose my voice. There's a little heart. And I have more, but that will suffice for now. And I have, I'm using Stays On black ink. So I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Okay, this is a favorite, so let's get some of this. We did. It was quite a busy week, though. Just took our daughter back yesterday. Another very long car ride. Okay, glad that turned out. I was having a little trouble with that one. Maybe I had a little too much coffee on the paper I used yesterday. Oh, not perfect, but whatever. Do the butterfly. This one wasn't coming out perfect either, but I filled it in with a black pen. Yeah, that one little spot. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so I'll probably speed up cutting these out for your sake. But you just want to go inside those lines a little bit. So they will fit inside your specimen. And this is fun. It's kind of like envelopes. You do them in the standard size and then think of ways you can do them in different sizes. Either very large or very small. And those teeny tiny ones will look cute as little charms. If I put a little hole in there and okay, so let's get some assembly going here for these square ones. And you will also need a tiny paper punch. This is 1/8, I believe. And you will need some glue. And either way, when we get to, if your die isn't perfectly centered, since these are square, you can just turn them any way you want, practically. And put your largest edge on the bottom, rather than say, oh, I messed it up, I have to do it over. Although it doesn't matter. In the broad scheme of things, doesn't matter if it's a little off. And then we're just going to get that lined up in there. As best we can. And then glue it down. Hold it a second. Okay. And if any edge is off, which this one is a little bit, I think, just give it a trim. And then in our top and bottom, we want to put our punch. I used the edge of my punch for an alignment and just went to the edge of the paper like so. And then just go halfway in the hole of your punch so that when you punch you get a half circle, like a notch, as if you're doing a pocket notch. And that way you get them evenly distributed if you have a guide. So I just lined my punch up with the edge, did a half circle, and there you go. Cute, tiny, tiny specimen. Now, what I will do this time is change my colors. Just to make them a little different. Okay, there we go. So, put that in there. I'll do these ones off camera. So let's get to our tiny ones, which, as I said, were, let me see, 1 inch by 2 inches. And I have some already cut here. Where did you go? I thought I had more cut than that. That's for that. And that's for that. Now I did not put the text on the tiny ones because I had the text for the inside, which was my dictionary page. Let me do a circle one in the 1 inch for you. That needs stamped. And you might want to go vertical with your stamping, otherwise it's going to end up upside down on the back. Now at first I used a non-cursive stamp with my originals like that, and then I wasn't really thinking about it the first couple, and then I realized, well, it doesn't matter because it's on the back, but if that's gonna bother you, just run your text vertically. And you can even do these with book pages. You can do them with all kinds of things. They're very interesting. Okay, so what I did with this one was I just put my fold against the edge of my punch and just eyeballed it. Oh geez, I drank way too much coffee this morning. I was tired. Okay, we'll see. Okay, not too bad, but one edge is a little taller than the other, so I was trimming that off, but you know what? I'm just not going to worry about it because that text is too small to read anyway. So I'm just going to put that in there. You can't even tell. Well, you can a little. But I'm still not going to worry about it. Let's do the apple in there. Good, it still fits. I'm glad I didn't have to cut out another one that was larger. I was just realized that I hope those are the same size. Okay, here we go for the apple. Get that glued. Okay, here we go. Get my punch. Same thing. Line it up with the edge. Make a tiny notch. And there is that one. Okay. Oh, I guess I was putting the circle on the back as well. I was just having the text run a different way. I forgot to say that. And if you wanted to, you could ink the edges, of course. Okay, there we go, and there's the back. Okay, let's do the tiny one. And those were 1 by 2. So I just took my little punch, folded my paper in half, and then inside my punch there's 2 little tab-like marks, and it also has an arrow on each side so that you can kind of tell the center, or you can find the center of your paper and line it up with that center raised plastic. There's almost always some way you can line your paper up with your punch. So that one looks pretty centered. And then I just took a little piece of dictionary. You can also do these with, and then I had my text going vertical for the most part as well in there. And then I just put it in there, folded it over. So I could see where to cut. And then cut inside that line just a little bit. And amazingly, your 1/8 punch also fits on this teeny tiny specimen. So there we go. It's going to get glued in there. Then let me glue down the top. Glue it together. Try and avoid too much glue so I don't get glue smushing. And same thing. Okay. And there's a teeny tiny one. So let me just put a hole in the corner there. Or in the top, maybe it'll fit. Well, no, maybe I won't. But if you wanted to make that a charm, just put a hole somewhere and then put a ball pin or whatever. Jump ring, whatever you use to attach your charms. And there you go. Where are we? 29. I think I can do one more quickly enough. So I folded my paper, got it aligned in there. Double check that it was in between those two little tabs, which I can't show you because of course they're underneath the cover. Make sure I am flat against this edge. And there we go, there's another one. It's pretty well centered. Good enough. And I have some little to trim off here. But again, if that edge had a wider border in one spot than another, just put that one on the bottom, like a Polaroid. And it will be fine. I forgot to tell you. The rust, the DIY instant rust, it wasn't the vinegar, it wasn't the salt, and it wasn't the peroxide, but there was something about the metal that kept turning my one thumbnail black, and it was driving me crazy because nothing, there was some sort of chemical reaction. I hope I didn't do some weird medical test. And maybe I need to go to the doctor, but every day it didn't matter what I did, you know, bathing, shampooing, washing dishes. I tried every single thing to get that black line out of underneath my fingernail. And I had to use Barkeeper's Friend and a brush. And then the next day it would just reappear. And then I would have to do it again. Thankfully today it's not here. And I am quite sure it started on that day. So it was some sort of chemical reaction with regarding the metal. So you might want to keep that in mind. I don't know what they had, maybe nickel, I don't know. Whatever it is that makes metal turn black. So every day I had to use Barkeeper's Friend, almost every day. Some days it didn't appear, so that was a little weird too. So be careful of these crafting room experiments. You never know what's going to happen. Even though I felt confident and wasn't worried about the chemical, the salt, the vinegar, or the peroxide. Those are all harmless. So I knew it wasn't that. But nothing was working to take it out. Not bleach, not anything. Except Barkeeper's Friend, the tried and true. Okay. So there we have it. Our little specimens and our little mini specimens. Very, very, very cute. I like them a lot. And you know what else would be cute? If you put a number in there, stamped number on there. And like I said, you could go out and collect some little tiny spring flowers and dry them, and you could also put little postage stamps, little die cuts, little die cut flowers, little die cut butterflies. Those, I don't have them in front of me right now, but the tiny punches that make shapes and all that, little stars, that would be cute. Little photographs, all kinds of things you can put in a specimen. So, okay everyone, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you all had a great Easter, and I hope you all have a great day and a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye!